Hello, and welcome to a game of Ice and Fire. When last we left off, the party had just defeated the outlaws led by Clayton, the disgraced former squire that served House Dalt in Lemonwood. The poison that was used on Clayton was kept hidden from most, but Martan learned that his father developed it himself. Badru went off on a hunt and was attacked by a mountain lion, which he dispatched quickly. When he returned, he made a small altar with broken rocks and pieces of the ruins that surrounded them, covered it in the blood of the slain beast, and burned the body. After starting the fire, he sat down and stared into the flames. A figure seemed to approach him from the flames, with two long black horns coming from its head. It looked at Badru, then at his companions, before fading into the flames. And that is where we will pick up with our players. We pick up with those of you that slept through the night, or even a part of it. Waking up, Badru, you stayed awake the entire night, so you see those of you that, or those that were not on watch with you, or not in the morning watch, join you in waking up for the morning as the dawn light crests over the hills. Martan, let me get you to roll a d6 for me, and let me know if you get a 5 or a 6 this time.
Damn.
No?
4.
All right.
Whack.
I know, right?
Wiggity whack?
You sleep soundly.
Thank you. Thank you, James. I appreciate you.
The morning is here. Most of you are well rested. Some of you are injured, however. So,
Sure
who all has just an injury?
Me.
Or has an injury
Did you
at the
say
very
that because
least?
your name is
are.
Justin?
I have
An injury at least, then yes, me.
Yeah, at
What-
least
what
an
if we
injury.
have-
and a wound.
What if we have
I
a
just-
Colin injury or a James injury?
Well, that's harder to deal with.
Yeah.
I'm convinced that Drew hates us.
There is an in-game term for it.
I have one injury and I would like to solve it by myself.
All right, yeah, you didn't really receive much attention yesterday. Yeah, so an injury, it has been a day. You haven't really been recovering, but you haven't been doing any fighting, riding, or physical activity, really, other than when you received the injury. So all you need to succeed is a 6 on an endurance test. And since you're injured, you get a -1 to this.
I'm rolling 5 die. I got 1 6 and then a lot of other numbers.
Well, the 6 is all you needed, so. Alright, you can remove that injury from your character. I think that gives you an experience point, because you got that 6. Okay.
In endurance.
Yeah, 1, it is a specialty experience, so you can use that experience to gain specialties under the endurance category.
Pretty cool.
Alright,
That's pretty cool.
that's Badru. Who else has an injury? An injury. Mm-hmm.
Who else? That's an injury.
Radava, what did you have?
An injury and a wound.
An injury and a wound.
Oh,
You have had Nicholas looking at this, correct?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, I
So
have.
you may have him make a healing test instead of
great.
you making
That'd be swell.
your own. So let me pull up his. This would be treat injury. He gets a bonus dice.
Who does the my
Drop
health
the
come
one.
back as well?
Yes, your health came back as well. To clarify, health damage goes away at the end of combat. Injuries and wounds are the things that last after combat. So.
Oh, after combat, not after a long rest.
Mm-hmm.
That's one would.
Yeah. Okay, well, he rolled a 14, so that beats a 6. So you may, Radava, remove that injury.
Oh, yeah.
You keep the wound, because it has not been a week yet. Anyone else in the player group that has a wound, or an injury?
I am wounded.
You have a wound? Yeah, you'll have to wait a little bit longer for yours. And I think Thali is just fine. Let's see. All right, we've
I'll
also
stay
got...
out of the heat of it.
Mm-hmm.
Did I get any experience for my sacrifice and vision? Just rubbing.
Let's see. You didn't roll any 6s on your will test, I don't think.
No, I didn't.
Okay. Then no, you just get the actual experience of having seen it.
Hey, I like it.
Let's see. Nim, Vorro, and Sir Darren all had injuries. Vorro get Nicholas to make another healing test. Drop it to 12. Yeah. All right. So Vorro is free of the pain of his sunburn now.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Awesome.
yeah.
The worst thing that happened to him
Yeah.
and them was sunburn.
Brutal sunburn.
Mm-hmm.
Must be nice.
All right. That was Vorro. Let's do Nim next.
Right now, I'm
Definitely.
ready to play this game.
Okay. Nim is back to her full self, and that leaves us with Sir Darren. Not as good, but still good. And Sir Merrick is healed of his injury as well. That takes care of all of the injuries that we can handle of the group. Now you have a decision to make on how you want to proceed. Do you want to travel back to Lemonwood, or would you like to stay here and rest and recuperate? Traveling will make recovering from the wounds more difficult, but
Well, we have a
Are we
cart
just
you do have a cart.
and only
so-
2 wounded.
Yeah, there's a bunch
Oh,
of stuff
yeah,
in the
the cart.
cart, but you could fit a couple of people in there if you wished. Travel back that way.
Before we really get into it, what's the deal with house progression? Are we doing that anymore since we're not technically on Skrell?
Yes, you will still do that. You get a house fortune roll every month. I think we did the second one kind of right before you
Right
left.
before we left.
Mm-hmm. So, and it hasn't been too terribly long. Yeah, it's been about a week. Yeah, since then. So yes, you will still be making those rolls. You'll be making them with the stats of the people that are there running the place. But since you guys are the players, you'll get to kind of control the decisions that are made. And of course, you can also send communications back and forth when you get to places that have ravens.
How far outside of Lemonwood are we?
You traveled for a couple of days to get here, so it'd be about 2 days.
Okay.
2 days of travel.
And we're
back.
west, like west of Lemonwood?
Yeah, northwest, a little bit northwest.
Okay. We're moored or whatever in Lemonwood, right?
Yeah, your ship is docked outside of Lemonwood. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. I mean, I say, with the exception of Badru, and everybody got rest, so I would say, like, if we put the injured people, like Badru was saying, in the cart, then we can just probably travel.
And we can use the horses they brought as pack.
Yeah,
Yeah,
true.
just travel light.
Put it
All
in.
right. Do you want to travel during the day, or would you like to travel at night?
Well, it's like morning now, why not?
It is morning now, yeah.
Yeah, make sure they all have protection.
From the sun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was, if you wish to take some of the sand silks from the slain, you've got plenty of that material, of those materials now. So everyone can, take the benefit of having some sand silks to
Let's do
stave
that.
off the heat.
Make a nice covered wagon for the young little lord.
Mhm,
I'll-
yeah, a little palanquin.
I will swap my sand silks to the ones of our house, as opposed to the Lemonwood ones.
Well,
Oh,
they'll
yeah.
probably fit in him. Don't you reckon?
His Lemonwood sand silks.
Yeah.
Mine are very fine. I wasted money on them.
You supported the local economy. You
That's
bought
right.
From
Yeah.
a mom and pop shop.
Not the first time he's supported the local economy,
Yeah,
but
that's true.
very different way.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, he's not throwing money directly at them. This
Literally
Throwing-
throwing.
It's like fistfuls of
People.
coins.
It's not quite direct
Imagine
mutual
like
aid, but you know.
Mhm.
You can't just throw ancient coins at me.
Some people will get upset.
Make it hail.
Pasha's cargo short day.
Okay, so you guys take a little bit of the morning to prepare the cart with plenty of drapery, and the silks do seem to help
It's not
stave
coming
off
through, but that would have been such good Foley work,
the
Dustin.
heat.
Yes, like it wasn't coming through.
Mm.
Nothing.
Oh yeah, and yeah, everyone is able to garb themselves in some silks as well and gear up for the travel back home. For most of them. So on this day of travel, let me get everyone that is not in the cart to make an endurance test for me.
Oh no. Oh okay.
Ooh,
Yikes. 7.
6.
14.
7, a 6, and a 14. Well, you all succeed, just barely.
You sound so
Pretty sure.
disappointed.
Yeah.
Sounds so bad about it.
No, I mean,
I'll
it's,
succeed.
it's fun. It's more fun if people
Get sunburned.
get sunburned. Oh no, Nicholas
Oh.
rolled a 2.
Yeah. Oh my god, Nicholas.
Oh, buddy.
So even with the benefit of having the DC reduced with the Sand Silks, he is feeling the heat. All right, let's see. Vorro, get him to make his again. Okay, yeah, he's fine. It's a 10. Sir Merrick. I don't know if he can fail. He does not. And then that leaves us with Nim. And she is also okay. Alright, so only Nicholas is feeling the sunburn on this first day. Yeah, the heat of Dorne is, you're really starting to feel it. This is your third day out on the sands, but with the addition, those of you that did not have the Sand Silks before, with the addition of those, it does help, and you're starting to kind of become accustomed to it after a time. Is there anything anyone wants to do during the day, or is everyone fine with moving towards another evening?
Pretty happy to.
Continue resting in the back of the wagon.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you're
This
back
lazy
there.
little lordling has no desire to get up and try walking around.
Mm-hmm.
Super bum leg.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You're super bum leg. All right. Well, you guys travel through the day and make camp that night. Is anyone wanting to take watch? There are enough of the Lemonwood men-at-arms that none of you have to if you wish to just rest through the night.
I'm gonna take a watch in the middle of the night.
All right.
Not me. I'll be sound asleep.
Can
Things
I?
and thinking.
Can I just assist? Like, can I just assist Radova instead of, like, because I feel like I make it my responsibility to take watch, which I should, but I'm bad at it.
Yeah, you can.
Can I? Yeah, can I do like?
Yeah, you can take the assist action. What that will do is it will add half of your ranks in awareness, that number, to his score, whatever he rolls.
Half of my ranks.
Mm-hmm.
Half my rating.
Should be your ability rank. So for you,
rating.
you have
Rating.
a 3. Oh, it is rating. Oh, wow.
So 3.
Everywhere in the book, it is ranks, but on this thing, it's called a rating. That's
So do we round up or down in this game? Cool.
down, unfortunately. So
Okay,
I'll
so
be giving
1.
him a +1.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Better nothing.
Yep, better than nothing. All right, so you guys are going to be taking the middle of the night's watch, and Vorro will be joining you. Martan, are you taking the night off as well? Resting up, recuperating? Mm-hmm.
I'm absolutely going to sleep.
Yeah, you're gonna pile up a bunch of those silks and give yourself a pillow, nice little fluffy bed.
Mm-hmm.
Lay my little head on it. Like,
Why was that so weird?
What, thinking about watching a 14-year-old boy sleep?
No, it's just the way he
Wow.
said it. Lay my little head. Grab my strong hand.
Jesus.
Wow, you guys are going so much
that one
farther.
a long time.
Okay, well, Martan, Badru, you guys are able to bed down around some fires for the night. Thali, Radova, Vorro is going to join you on the midnight watch
Excellent. Excellent.
as you
Sweet.
guys relax around the fire. And just kind of wake up in the, early part of the night after the first watch to join you guys
My
around
hair.
the fire. Mm-hmm. Thali, Radova. Evening.
Oro?
That it is.
I was just dreaming that I didn't have to do this, and now here we are.
You're certainly welcome to go back to sleep if you want.
Well,
Shouldn't be much of nothing out here, I hope.
you know me. I'm up now. Might as well stir.
I'm mad. It's one of the best awareness notice tests I've ever made.
Nice.
It's missing a die. That
right,
is,
yeah, you have to take a penalty.
17
17 notice test.
with 2 sixes.
And does that include the +1 that Folly is giving?
No, it doesn't. So an 18 with
Mhm.
2 sixes.
An 18 with 2 sixes. All right, we'll go ahead and let's see. 2 sixes is something even different. So let me just double check. Yeah, that is an ability experience in
Oh, yeah.
awareness. So there you go. Give yourself an ability experience.
Sweet.
Yeah. It is pretty dark at this point of the night. And the the only light is the light of the fires and then the light of the moon and the stars. Pretty quiet night in the desert. And Vorro, it's a good night for a story, don't you think? Around the fire.
Sure, you got one you want to tell. Or are you asking?
That's what I was
Well,
about to say.
we can share, perhaps. I don't know if you guys have any stories, any tales to tell, but nights like this, when the moon is almost full, I've traveled all throughout the three cities and seen and heard a lot of different tales. Have you heard the legend from Karth of the 2 moons?
I've not. Can't say I have.
This
Yes.
sounds like a euphemism. Go on, tell it.
Perhaps. No, I once heard a man from Karth tell a story of how once there were 2 moons in the sky, and one flew too close to the sun and cracked from the heat, and drank the sun's fire, and 1,000 dragons poured forth from it. That seems a bit fantastical to me, though.
Well, sure, if you tell it like that.
That's what I thought. To me, that just sounds like perhaps something happened during an eclipse. The moon flying too close to the sun. That's, we see eclipses every now and again. That just sounds like an eclipse.
Are you not a man of romance, Vorro?
Well, I like to see perhaps where the stories are rooted. See where these legends and myths came from.
Looking for the nugget of wisdom in the middle of it, is it?
Yes, if it can be found.
I was just thinking that was 1,000 too many dragons.
I would have to agree.
Perhaps that's the lesson. Don't fuck with dragons, they'll come at you. Not unless you're ready
Seems
to deal
it-
with 1,000 of them.
Seems a terrifying sight, and something that more than one fellow might notice. This is a
Whoa.
legend in Karth?
Yes, they tell that the legend says that one day the other moon will kiss the sun as well. And
Spew forth 1,000 more dragons?
well, that would be what one would assume anyway.
So, where are these dragons now?
Well, it sounds like they're in the moon.
You're dead.
Yes, well, all the dragons died. I think the last was perhaps 150 years ago. The last of the Targaryen dragons. Not
You
the
have to wonder,
hatchlings
though.
at that point.
If something did fall from the sky like that, what it was and where it landed. If it landed.
Yes, well, there are legends of stars falling from the sky. There's the one in Starfall in Dorne. Perhaps one of our stops along the way. Legend has that the Danes followed a fallen star to the mouth of the Torrentine River, and that's where they, well, that fallen star is what they used to forge their sword Dawn, or so the legend goes, anyway.
Be a pretty righteous sword.
Well, I have never laid eyes on it myself, but yes, it would seem to be a unique sword.
I wonder if star metal's heavier than regular metal.
It would have to be.
Lighter, it would seem. At least that's what I have heard. The last to wield it was Sir Arthur Dane of the Kingsguard of Ares II. But now it resides in Starfall. If we go there, there's a chance you might see it.
That's something to be sure. Certainly gives you more to think about than my story of the beast with two backs.
The beast with two backs.
Oh yeah, it's a very popular legend in places where there's secret spots to meet and see things which you shouldn't be seeing.
Go on.
Oh, there's not much to tell, really. Young man walking along the shoreline there. Hears strange roaring, grunting. Sounds like some sort of creature ready to devour you. And peers around a tree, and there in the grass before him is a beast with two backs.
How
Boy
is it
takes
a
one
beast?
look at it and gets so scared he runs away for his life.
Oh, he's just shaking his head, looking directly at Radova.
And
It's
how
a
is-
sex joke, Vorro.
Yes.
It's two people fucking in the grass in a place
And-
where they
and,
didn't think anybody would find them.
And
beast with two
Radova,
backs.
your nugget of wisdom from this story would be what
Hide
exactly?
better.
hide
Find a better secret spot. If you're gonna meet with somebody, do it at night. I don't know.
Well,
Don't go looking for things if you hear something you don't understand.
I've heard
Stay
that.
your ass at home.
Of course. I've heard that the Dothraki believe that everything important should be done under the stars. So,
Well, there you go then. There's your nugget of wisdom.
not a lot of hiding there.
Depends on which stars you're hiding under and what's around you on the ground.
Yes, well, hopefully they're not the falling kind of stars.
Wouldn't that be something?
It would.
In
There's
the
a-
middle of a
there's-
romantic rendezvous, and then a star crashes into the back of your head.
There's let's see. There's another legend of someone that called, well, it's not really wouldn't be a falling star, but the Grey King. Well, you of course know that Martan's grandfather is from the Iron Islands originally. So this legend is from his home. The Grey King from legends, so named because his hair and beard and eyes were as gray as the winter sea. And at the end of his life, even his skin is said to have turned gray. But they say that he slew the sea dragon Naga, and after which the drowned god turned the sea dragon's bones to stone. And from those bones he made a hall, and he heated it with Naga's living fire, whatever that means. And took a mermaid to wife, so his children could live both in the sea and on land as they chose.
Anybody
But-
think to throw him in the water?
Well, he did eventually walk into the sea, or so legend claims. He wore robes of seaweed and had a tall, pale crown made from Naga's teeth or perhaps a driftwood crown. Legends differ there. But
So two very different things.
well, yes, they would be. Naga's teeth, a sea dragon. That would, well, dragons' bones are black, so if it was like other dragons, that would be a black toothy
You'd think
crown.
if it was rooted in something more realistic, the stories would be a little bit more coherent together.
One would think. But these are stories from many thousands of years ago, so who knows what really took place, or how many of these stories might have been combined together to make one figure from the past. But
I suppose hoping for the infallibility of memory to last for thousands of years is a fool's errand, isn't it?
Where is he said to have walked into the sea?
well, he's from the Iron Islands.
The beach, probably.
so, from there.
Would be a good
Yes.
place to start.
But he taunted the storm god into setting a great tree on fire with a thunderbolt, and taught men to weave nets and sails, and carved the first longship from the pale wood of Ig, a demon tree which fed on human flesh.
Oh, Jesus.
There's too many gods.
Yes, there are. Every place has its own.
Demon tree. Nice.
In
So-
Martan's studies, he has to know all of this. I could never.
I'd just rather not. Stories are all well and good, and there's a lot to be learned from them. Great way of passing down that infallibility of memory, but finding the intelligence out of some of them is just, well, what one man sees as intelligent lessoning is another man's stupid bullshit.
Thali's like middle of like pulling from a flask and just sends something way too spicy through his nose.
You're right there. You know that's for going down your throat and not out your nose.
Well, when you say things like that, it's hard to keep it all in the same area.
Oh, I see.
I'll never get used to the Vradova-isms.
Well, with any luck, you'll be hearing them for a long time to come. I'm sure eventually you'll catch on.
Vradova, do you remember that boy couldn't have been 18 who was selected as part of the crew that had to hunt down those pirates that found Martan's you know, that boy that led the that drove our ship green.
I wish
Had
that
to be
I
the most
didn't.
green.
I remember. There's something about people that don't know what they're talking about. Speaking with authority to make up for their lack of knowledge. It pisses
Never
me
s-
off like nothing else can.
Never seen a man wet himself before seeing any combat.
Man, if you've never been on the ocean before, it's a trying sort of thing. And going out in a fishing boat's a very different thing from going out in a warboat. Even without the promise of spilling some blood on the way. And then the nerves kick in, and you realize that you're about to kill your first person or be killed by your first person. And it's not surprising, but it's very hard to take someone seriously when they're barking orders and pissing themselves at the same time.
Yes, you don't wish that from your commanders.
At the very least, have the decency to wear some yellow pants.
Or some brown.
Or some brown. Poor kid.
Speaks to being highborn, though. You get selected to be part of some of the most interesting pieces of history.
Hmm. And if you're lucky, they give it to write about you. Something more than a eulogy, anyway.
Well, I wrote about that kid pissing himself.
I look forward to seeing your publishings.
You wrote it, or you got the maester to write it for you?
Can I write? Do I know that? Or is he like yanking my chain?
Let's see.
Maester's chain?
Oh yeah, you probably don't know how to write.
Oh, damn it.
Language of two, or knowledge of two, I think is not high enough.
Well, I told someone about it, and he scribbled it down for me, and I held on to it because I thought it was hilarious.
Oh, we'll have to see that someday. I wonder if he wrote down what you said.
Who's to say? I'll show it to you when we get back to Skrell Island.
Yeah. I'd like to see that.
So this group of bandits doesn't kill us on the way. I don't know about you two, but they put up a lot more of a fight than I was expecting.
Yes, they had money, they had equipment,
Numbers.
and numbers.
They
But
were
we
an
fared
irritating
all
lot
right.
to them.
Well enough, anyway.
Oh, true enough. Well, nobody died, and that's sort of the best you can hope for. I sure feel like I did sometimes, Joe.
Yes, perhaps you should get some rest.
It's about that time, I suppose.
Yes. Well, let's go ahead and wake the next watch.
Pleasure, fellas.
As always.
All right. You guys get to take your spots. You wake the men-at-arms for their nightly watches, and are able to sleep soundly the rest of the night, to wake in the morning. Martan, go ahead and roll another d6 for me.
Sleepy boy.
And
I
again, let me
yawned
know if
after
you
I
get,
said that.
well, I guess just tell me what you get. What's that?
You're muted.
A 6.
Oh, you got a 6. All right. Martan, as you fall asleep, you immediately begin to dream. You see a dead Septon in a small boat with his body draped over a long wooden box. As you reach out to take the box, his head turns to you, mouth open, with the torn stump of a tongue wriggling in the back of his throat. You stumble backwards and see a man with brown hair and gray eyes cleaning a long, dark blade in a pool beside an old weirwood. As the blood from the blade enters the water, the tree seems to stir. You blink and open your eyes to a girl with silver hair approaching a burning pyre while singing turns to screams and a star bleeds overhead. The light from the pyre stings your eyes, and you turn away to wipe tears from them. When you open them again, you see your sister in a dark room reaching towards a shimmering black candle in the corner. She hesitates, closes her eyes, whispers, and when she reaches out again, she flinches, then lets a few drops of blood trickle down. Her eyes reflect a small flame that wakes at the peak of the glass candle, with the light of the bleeding star coming in through the window, and you wake in the early morning light of dawn. Nicholas approaches you. Martan, are you feeling any better?
Not as well as I'd hope. However, being able to travel in the back of the cart has, well, only giving me slight discomfort, as opposed to, well, traveling on my, and I gesture down to my wounded leg.
Yes, we can go ahead and start changing some of those bandages, perhaps. It's a good time to do that before we get back on the road again.
Yes, thank you, Nicholas. And while he's doing that, I will take some of my paper
Mm-hmm.
and ink, quill, and just jot down the things from my dream that I can remember, just to try to keep it fresh.
Okay. You doing this while he's changing those bandages?
Yeah.
Okay. What are you writing? A note to your father?
No, Nicholas. I had another one of those strange dreams.
Oh.
Yes, like before, I believe I told you before we left Scroll Island. Oh, goodness. It seems so long ago now. That I dreamt about the bodies and the box in the boat. The dead septon. And, I saw that again, but there was more to it this time. There was a man with dark hair and brown eyes cleaning a sword, and a silver hair woman, and fire, and I saw my sister. She was looking at that strange glass candle we found. I don't really know what to make of it.
Well, I do seem to recall a bit of that dream. You asked about different colored eyes, I think. I don't know what to make of it. You said a woman with silver hair?
Yes, the Targaryens had hair of that color, did they not?
Yes.
I know they did.
They did, of course. But it's not uncommon in other places as well. There are, of course, many descendants of, well, bastard Targaryens that dwelled in the city of Lys. So there are many silver-haired people there. There's pale-skinned people live in Karth. There are people with pale hair even in that's in Old Town. Some of the high towers have had silver hair.
Interesting. I didn't know it would be quite so common. But regardless, oh, there was a star, a burning star, like bloody red. Does that ring any bells?
No, I can't say it does. I've not really heard of any stars that could bleed. I don't know what that would look like.
Well, it was only a dream.
Yes, it's perhaps an insight into whatever it is you're thinking about. Have you been studying anyone with silver hair, or the brown-haired man you said near the water?
No, that...
Were there any of them familiar faces? You recognized your sister, it seems.
Yes, I don't believe I recognized anyone else. Did I recognize the man with the dark hair and the brown eyes?
Make a knowledge education test for me.
Okay, all right. It's gonna be a 12, 7, 19 with 2 6s.
Oh boy, 19. With 2 6s. So that's go ahead and add an ability experience to knowledge.
Okay.
None of them are faces that you recognize. While Nicholas is telling you that yes, silver hair is not really only limited to Targaryens, it is Valyrian in descent almost exclusively. His mentions of the High Towers, they don't really have any Valyrian ancestry, at least not that you're aware of. And there are members of House Dane that have had very pale purple eyes. They're not really the silver hair in that house, but it is mostly a Valyrian trait. So descendants from Valyria, the Valarians, are also Valyrian, and they have very pale skin and silver to gold hair. And while the silver-haired woman may not necessarily be Targaryen, at least not just by that, Valyrian in descent is indicated by that. But you don't recognize her. The man with the brown hair looks to be kind of in his early to mid 30s, and gray eyes. Also, you don't recognize him, but with a 19, there are some traits that are a little bit rarer. Gray eyes is one of them. Gray eyes are a little bit uncommon, and they are mostly resigned to the north, so likely a Northman. And by looking at his clothing and the fact that he was seated by a pool in front of a weirwood tree, seems to indicate he is northern. So, while you don't recognize him, you can kind of learn, or at least glean a little bit of insight into what you might have seen.
Cool. All right.
Okay. Well, he finishes changing out your bandages, and we are able to make the rest of the trek back to Lemonwood. Ready for another set of endurance tests?
Yes.
Yup.
I would
Nicholas, if
also-
you would please help me into the back of the cart again. Thank you.
Jesus.
I would also like to do an awareness test for any local hallucinogen.
Cool.
Okay.
Somebody blow on these, please. Oh, look, I'm holding three twos. That's crazy. Okay. Thanks, James. Yeah, it worked. 13. Thanks, James.
13.
That's
All right.
nice.
That was a
On
success.
endurance.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was that?
15. On
15.
endurance.
13.
3.
God.
No! With your sand silks, you only needed a 4.
Yep.
Hey, big
Yeah.
guy.
Here I am.
Sun's getting real. Not low.
All right, well, you can add your injury back on from the sunburst. All right, Radava is feeling the heat.
We do a smash cut, and like it's a view from inside the cart, and you just see like Radava flying into the cart, being thrown by several men. Folly standing there with his arms crossed.
It's not like it's
Yeah.
a covered wagon. It's not going to protect me from the sun.
Well,
I thought we said
it is
I thought we
it is
said
a
it
Yes,
covered
was.
wagon,
it
and
is.
it
Oh,
will
is it?
protect you
Oh,
from the
wagon.
sun. That is exactly
I
what
didn't think
it
it was.
is. Yeah, you
Hmm.
covered it with sand silks. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them quite bloody.
Some of them quite bloody.
Hey,
Gross.
It's just extra shade.
Here we go. Yeah.
Yep.
Extra bloody.
And that
crusted
iron,
cream.
that
Mhm.
iron smell.
Right, yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So I would like to talk to any of the Lemon Boys and Nicholas, maybe even young Lord Martan, to see if there are any like wild cacti or fungi that have hallucinogenic properties.
I think Radov is a real fun guy.
It's true. He certainly tries to be.
You can count on me to do these every time we play.
Okay, yeah. You can approach, I mean, Thali, Radova, Martan, whoever you'd like to talk to first.
I would like to approach the Lemon Knights first.
Oh, the Lemonwoods. All right. Yeah, there are several men-at-arms traveling with you, as well as Sir Andre Dalt.
All right,
So.
I'll go to Dalt.
Andre.
Excuse me, Mr. Dalt. Lord Dalt, Knight Sir Dalt.
Just sir.
I don't know if you happen to see anything in the fire I made a few nights ago,
The
but I was hoping
bloody
you could.
big mountain lion that you put in there?
Sure, yeah, I'm talking about the mountain lion. I was wondering if you could help me with something. Where I'm from, after a ritual night like that, we then go on a spiritual journey to open our minds more.
Infuriating.
You find some sort of special plants, perhaps? And,
yeah. Mhm.
I see. Yes. Well, I've been to the court of Dorn several times. Have dallied a little bit, and this is a maybe 17-year-old at this
Oh
point.
shit!
Yeah.
Okay. Man grown.
Yeah. Who is yeah. Speaking of his time in Sunspear, yes. There are places where we can find these things. Yes. Dorn is full of surprises.
Cool. Anyway, keep your eyes out. Let me know if you see anything.
Of course, it may be difficult out in the desert, but perhaps in one of the cities there are certain places that you go that sell
So,
Uh,
nothing that we can
potions and
find
tinctures,
on
and
the way.
perhaps we can keep an eye out. But that is a suggestion for the future, of course. Okay. And he'll give you a description of a few different plants that you can keep your eye out for.
Cool.
Yeah. That are going to be local to Dorn, to this area, and anyway. Not a lot of plant life out here, but some of it can be quite poisonous. So some of those, it's all about the dose, right? With certain poisons, if you
Right.
take too much, it's too much. So yeah, he details some of the plants that he knows of, describes them for you. All right.
awareness or survival test?
It would be survival for this one. Yeah.
Alright, I would like to burn both of my destiny points. One to add a test die, or add a bonus die, and one to convert a bonus die into a test die.
So you're gonna spend both destiny points?
Yeah,
Okay.
spend.
Okay.
Sorry, not burn.
Okay. I was like, okay. Yeah, okay. Spend both destiny points. Okay, so you're turning one in. Oh, okay. You're giving yourself effectively one extra test dice?
Yep.
All right. Cool. All right. Go ahead and make a survival test. Let's see. 12. You spend some time looking out for the plants, and you find, several different cacti and brushes with, thorns and thistles, and he kind of steers you away from most of those. You don't find anything quite like what you are looking for in the terms of like a hallucinogen or something like that, something trippy. But you do find enough different ingredients to make some different poisons, if you wished. You could make a little bit of wolfsbane or a wasting potion with some of the materials that you find. So if you want to add either wasting potion or wolfsbane to your items, you may.
Okay. I'll probably wait to determine. Talk to Radva, possibly, see if he can help me determine which one would be better. I don't necessarily use poison, so I may just give it to him, or if there's an apothecary that we know that can. I know that we saw it in like Lemonwood, or if I'll wait to get back to Sunspear to turn them into something that I could sell.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, well, that is what you do, and the sun does not affect you at all this morning while you are hunting for these different ingredients.
Must be fucking nice.
Let's see. Did I have anyone roll theirs yet? I don't think so. Go ahead and get Nim to. That is a success.
Be able to give the help action for any of these?
Not against a sunburn.
I mean, tell people that they're looking a little red, get in the shade, drink some extra water.
All right. I'll let you. Jesus, you're gonna be able to add a fucking lot. Okay, I see. You make it effectively impossible to fail. I'll let you assist one person. Who would you like to assist?
Let's just give a +2 to anyone who fails today. How about that? And see if that helps.
All right. Let's see. Sir Merrick was gonna go next. He's probably okay. Actually, I think he has to be. Yeah. We'll roll it anyway. Vorro.
Or a +2 to Radva. Since
Since he failed to
so
retroactively unsunburn him.
Oh man, I feel a sunburn coming. Oh, that's funny. It's gone now.
I probably just
Just in the nick of time.
Mm-hmm.
Another smash cut, and Martan is just pushing Radava out of the stubble.
No room for you, Iron Hand.
Jeez.
Kick you out with my
You know,
foot.
I'm not the only. You're not the only person wounded here. You know that, right?
dripping aloe, slapping it on everyone.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Unbelievable.
Nicholas just beats it, so he does not regress further into sun singeing.
Bless.
All right, and that, I believe, is everybody. So, you are able to travel a bit of a rickety path the rest of the way to Lemonwood. You start to seeing trees, a little bit more life in on the horizon, and are able to approach Lemonwood Castle again and the small, city that surrounds it, and are able to kind of make your way back into the castle, into the hall. Everybody is greeted at the door by Sir Desiel and by Lady Alice and their retinue. Sir Desiel begins with the greetings. It is good to see that you all have returned safe. Please, I see that not all of you are well. Join us inside. We will get all of you fed. Please, come to the table.
Don't we have like hella money and weapons for them?
In the cart, you sure do.
We sure do.
Yeah, and in addition to the,
In addition to
the little lordling.
Cool.
Yeah, the cart is there with you. Martan, if you wish to stay in the cart, you can. But he is preparing to usher everyone inside.
Oh, we're going inside. I'm going inside.
All right.
Martin's like, I'll sit out here.
I'll
the-
stay with the car.
Yeah, the men at arms go to remove their armor and stow everything, and resume their positions with the garrison. Sir Andre, of course, stays with you and joins, not in the Great Hall like before, but in the smaller Lord's Solar, which is not really a Lord's Solar. The Knight of Lemonwood, Sir Desiel, takes his seat. It is just the group of your party, Sir Desiel, Lady Alice, and of course Sir Andre there with you. Seated at a table, he gets refreshments brought, gets some chilled wine and some bread and cheese. Quite welcome after the, I don't know, about not quite a week that you guys have been traveling in the desert. And water, of course. Plenty of water for the table.
Blessings.
How about fries? Fries for the table?
No fries for the table. Plenty of lemons, though, if you want lemons.
I do.
Ooh, can I have some sugar sweetener?
raw?
Make some lemonade.
Hey, can I just get like a bunch of lemons and a bunch of sugar and a water?
Sugar's sugar's pretty expensive. But yeah, the lemons are prolific here. Sir Desiel, after you guys take your seats and are offered refreshments, it is kind of late afternoon, so dinner is still being prepared, but will be brought to you shortly. Sir Desiel says, "So, it appears that you all returned safe and sound, but not without injuries. Tell me, what was it that took place?"
Slap his decapitated head. But it-
Okay.
Sir,
I
Sir,
don't.
I was
about
like,
to say, I
oh,
don't think you did that. I don't think you cut off Clayton's head.
Well, we've quite a number of items that we do feel belong to your house, seeing as how you were the ones being robbed and murdered. And, among those items, I believe you'll find a set of full plate that belonged to, well, I believe was the man Clayton.
And at mention of his name, you see Lady Alice flinch, and Sir Desiel and Sir Andre. Sir Andre is able to look at his brother and nod that was in fact Clayton. Sir Desiel says, "So I take it he is dead then?"
He shall bother you no more.
And whatever hell he ended up in, he won't be crawling out of, I promise you that.
Good. The world is a safer place with him gone. Well, I see that...
Oh, yes. There's also, and I find the map. Well, I've made a copy of the map, but I'll give them the original. I believe these are entrances to a cave system, and their markings where I think there are entrances in. Well, perhaps it would be best if you were to send people to check them out. I think, well, we dispatched with quite a few bandits, but it's possible there could be more.
Yeah, Sir Desiel takes a look at the map and kind of nods. Yes, well, we are familiar with many of these caves. Seems perhaps they were using them as stash points. We could, yes, especially now that the roads are much safer. We can send out patrols now that we know what we are looking for and where to look. Good. Thank you, Martan. So, he is dead. You bring... What was it that you brought back besides the armor? You said some of our items.
Well, we've quite a few pieces of, well, some weaponry, some armor.
A bag of gold.
At a glance, it's something like, I guess maybe 170 gold dragons worth of things, including some coin we found on Sir Clayton, or not Sir Clayton, the Clayton himself.
The Clayton.
The Clayton. Well, the money alone, the equipment, I'm sure we can put to use or sell as we see fit. Yes, the money alone would certainly help us get back to where we were before. That would help a lot. Thank you.
Awesome.
You're welcome. It was the duty we agreed to take for Doran, Lord,
Prince.
Prince Martel, and I won't say we're happy to do it, but we do.
Freeze frame? We're done, right? That's
Yeah.
it.
We did do our duty.
Um,
The name of the
Do
episode.
our
but it was our duty, and
Ah,
we saw it through to the end.
That's good,
It's
Joseph.
bloody and painful end.
Points that leg.
Yes, well, no matter what Prince Duran said, you always have choice. So, putting your lives on the line for us will not go without gratitude.
Sorry.
So,
That
you
is
are
good to hear. How
you-
Skrell, my father, will appreciate that.
yes. Perhaps this will mean much more congress between our two houses. I would like that. We are but a small house, only landed knights, and it would be good to have more friends, especially if we are to see you at court again.
how old
Friends
is Alice?
in the Narrow Sea. Alice is 16, I believe. Let me double
Going
check.
on 17? Oh,
Jesus.
Boo.
No. Absolutely not.
Let's see.
God, I hate that show.
Yeah, I bet. How many times have you had to do that one?
How long was that run? We did that for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, maybe a full month, and riddled with problems.
Nazis, you know?
Other than the Nazis, there was more to it than that. That was a show where our sound mixer got COVID and had to leave at intermission, and his cover also had to leave at intermission for a different gig, and so we put the A2 on the board with no sound experience to mix the show.
Oh, God.
During our first performance with Captain Von Trapp's understudy.
Jesus.
That sounds terrible. All right, I'm going to stop
Understood.
looking and just say 16. So, a little bit younger than Sir Andre. Decent bit younger than Sir Desiel.
And we go to bed.
Was there... Let's see, who was it that asked that question? Was that...
I was just wondering.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I was thinking it was
Agree.
Martan and that he was looking at something. But no. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So picking up with Sir Desiel, he says, you will, of course, be welcome to beds as long as you like to rest. We will have a feast to celebrate your victory. But please, you have done us a great service. What would you ask of us?
Maybe enough days to spend here to undo the wounds suffered and then hit the road.
Some rest would be nice.
Yeah, that's
It is a level. What are we talking about here? It's not a. Is it a hall? Is it just a hall?
It's a small castle. It's
Small
it's
castle?
yeah, it's very small though. It's one kind of great keep built into the wall, and it's just a small wall surrounding a few buildings, and then a small town outside. Not anything really city-like.
Well, if you could extend your hospitality for a bit longer until, well, I'm back on 2 good legs, that would be wonderful.
Of course, You are welcome to stay as long as you wish. But please, there has to be something. More than just a roof and food and drink.
I mean, we did this, like, our OOC a little bit. We did this gig for exposure, right? We talked about that.
We really did.
Like, so, I mean...
100% did this to get a good word put in with...
The Martells at court.
Yeah.
Excuse me, at court.
Pair house
Maybe-
reputation.
Is it too forward to ask for like a written letter with a seal on it, so that we carry the news with us? It'll be the fastest way.
No, that wouldn't be inappropriate at all. Yeah, an official...
Proof of a job well done.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, yeah, yes, yes, we can have something drawn up. Something stating, well, you rid us of a thieving squire that dishonored himself. Good recommendation, of course, to Prince Doran. He is friendly to us.
It was his idea, after all.
Yes. Well, we'll thank him for that in this letter as well. Have no doubt. Yes, a good idea. I'll have it done.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, it will take... Let's see, you guys have traveled for 2 days. Another 5 days at the castle here is all that it will take to recover from those wounds. So, if you wish to spend the rest of the week here, before setting out towards Sunspear, you can do that. Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. I would like to go
Alright.
back to Sunspear unwounded.
Alright. Well, we will, we'll just kind of move through that. Is there, anything anyone wants to do other than just kind of recover here? Or everybody just wants to...
Radova's gonna keep
Get
up
back
with
in.
his like water dancer drilling that he's been doing.
Okay.
And practicing, working on all of that.
I wouldn't mind getting my spear sharpened.
Okay, yeah. Now that you're back in the castle, easy enough to do. Alright.
Can I get
I would-
some money?
I would like to
Can
see
you what?
Can I get some money?
money, please.
Oh, yeah, we have money. We should...
We've been traveling with
yeah,
him.
I need tip money. I don't plan on buying anything without you guys there, but
Yeah, I can...
Well, and what I told him as far as the weapons and the armor and the purse go, I did not mention the other 1,000 silver stacks of coinage.
Okay,
Technically,
so...
I didn't mention
So-
2,500 silver stacks of coinage.
So, are you wanting to keep that portion of the money? You are
We'll keep our-
you are
the-
choosing what of that you give back. You know, 'cause you're-
We will keep the other coinage. Well, we'll keep all the silver, all the silver. They can have all the gold and the armor and all the other shit. But we will keep all the silver, which in total should be 2,500 silver stacks.
okay.
According to my.
All right. Well, how would you like to divvy that up then? 2,500.
See no reason to not split it up evenly.
Say, how many of us are traveling here?
I was about to say, so
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7 of us.
There is Nim, Nicholas, Vorro, Sir Darren, and Sir Merrick.
Oh, okay. So then there
So
are
I think there's 9 of you all told.
9 of us. Okay, well then we'll divvy that up
That's-
9 ways.
277.7777777. So 276, and you'll have 9 pieces left over, or something. I don't know math.
Sounds good. That turns into what, about a little over 1 gold dragon each?
No. 100 and you said 170?
276.
Yeah, that would actually be over, a little over. It'd be a gold dragon and then 70 silver. 70 whatever.
Nice.
6.
I'm listing all mine in silver stacks because it makes me feel like I have more money.
Oh, 100%. Badru's thinking about converting it to copper.
Just like sleeping in it.
Just a pile of copper.
Yeah.
He's like Iron Hand. Look, me too.
Mhm. Yeah.
Duck bag of copper.
Yeah, and in fact, Badru,
Uncomfortable
if you're taking a look at this coinage, this is probably some of the first Westerosi coin that you've seen. So,
Badru's like Scrooge McDuck.
yeah. So
Fills a room full of copper.
Badru, this is probably some of the first Westerosi coin that you've seen, and you see essentially the 3 major denominations of it here. You see gold dragons that are stamped with the head. You see a couple. You see some that are stamped with the head of a bearded man with the stag banner, and then on the other side there is the 3-headed dragon, or the 1-headed dragon, on that gold coin. On other gold coins, you see on one side a 3-headed dragon, and on the other side, what looks to be an older king's face.
I just want Badru to look at it and just assume that they're all us for some reason.
Oh, please.
And then the silver stags have a stag on one side, and I'm actually not sure what they have on the other side. I don't remember.
I just
Probably
rolled
the
double
same.
ones on a knowledge test.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
He
These
just assumes they're
kings,
us.
yeah, these kings' heads. Not only do you have no idea who they are, you're confused why there would be a 3-headed dragon on one and a 1-headed dragon on another. Are they the same coins? Are they different? You've seen coins like diamond-shaped
weird
coins, and some
shit,
coins
yeah.
with holes through the middle, and oval-shaped coins. You've seen coins from all sorts of places. Some made out of iron, some made out of copper, some made out of all sorts of different materials. But yeah, you see the silver stags and the copper stars, the pennies.
How much would I have any idea? Lord Martan,
Yes, Badru?
if I'm going to take my spear to be sharpened.
Yes.
How much for that service here? Normally, the masters would just take it out of our earnings.
Ah. That... Well... I... imagine that may be able to be done here at the castle.
Would Martan even know? like
Yeah,
from a
my-
status standpoint.
Yeah, my hope is to drag him. Come, let's find out together.
Amazing. It's a buddy cop movie.
Yes.
I like The Odd Couple.
Would they have someone who sharpens the swords and weapons here in their little
They
small
would,
castle,
yeah.
or they would? Okay.
Yeah,
Well, that's
yeah.
fine.
Yeah, in places like this, you would know to look for the barracks, or perhaps a smithy or armory. Small castles like this, usually there will be some place like that inside, but if not within the walls here, then perhaps in the city there will be a blacksmith or someone that could do that for you. But yeah, if you want to go kind of looking around the castle or asking around the castle, you can either make an awareness test or a persuasion test, depending on how you want to do it.
I'll ask literally everyone I pass, even if they are 15 feet away from each other.
All right, go ahead and make a persuasion test for me.
A 3.
A 3.
Lord.
Incredible.
Yeah, as you
I've rolled
ask,
1-6 tonight.
you have rolled 1-6 tonight. Yeah, as you approach, just passing servants, some of the handmaidens, just anyone that is nearby as you leave with Martan, a lot of them just kind of stare fearfully at you. They see
the first
the
few,
giant
probably
bladed spear.
yeah.
I'll
I'll
hear
probably
the bit of
just
an
assume they
accent that
don't-
you've got, and the giant face tattoo, which face tattoos denote slavery, so they see that, and that's a pretty clear mark of a slave. So you can see that they're trying to be congenial, but they're mostly terrified. And they kind of just point out the front doors.
Yeah, I would assume that none of them like spoke common, so I would like just point at my spear and like touch the blade and show them blood dripping.
Yeah.
Pantomime everything, and after every occasion, just look at Martan and be like, you should have taken that one. But jumping ahead of him every time.
And after this happens a couple times, I just accept my fate, and the next person that we walk by. But pardon me, could you point us to your towards the barracks where your men-at-arms are?
Yeah. Yeah. You approach one of the servants in the house, and they say, "Oh, yes, my lord. If you go out the front gates and turn to the left, walk the path there. The barracks is just that way, not too far."
Is it just some boy, some page?
Mm-hmm.
If you're not busy, would you lead the way?
Of course. Yes. And he takes you out the front, down a short path, to the small but pretty well crammed barracks. You enter, and there are people, hanging out in the main area. There's a side room where a lot of the cots are. There's a separate side for the armory and some storage and like a pantry for some food, and several guards nearby. In the armory, there are both items to use in taking care of weapons and armor, and as well as people there proficient in using them. So, yeah, after he makes a quick introduction, they take a look at the blade that Badru has poised. Oh,
before the little page or whatever, steward, whatever he may be, runs off. Yes, thank you. And I reach into my coin purse and just hand him a silver stag.
Oh, thank you, my lord.
And I
Good day.
menacingly.
I'm not gonna make you roll an intimidation check. He turns and runs frightfully out the barracks door.
Amazing.
Yes, one of you, to describe him as a fine fellow would be, well, utterly incorrect. My less than feral friend here, or more than feral? Less than feral friend, uh, would would you be able to sharpen his spear for him? He says it needs sharpening.
It's a good reason.
The first one looks at you kind of confused for the first half of that, and then the other one, when you say sharpening his spear for him, just kind of chuckles to the side. But the first one says, yes, of course, let's take a look at this blade. Yes, and you hand it over to him, and he takes a look at it, and after a few moments, looks back up at you, Badru, and says, "This is quite a fine blade. May I ask how you came by it? We don't get weapons like this come through here very often."
The man that taught me how to use that gave it to me when he died.
So it is very important to you then. Well, we shall treat it with the respect it deserves. Let's take this over to our finer tools, perhaps, and get to work on setting that edge to rights again. Well,
And how much does your service cost me?
oh, you are guests of Sir Desiel. This is more of an honor to work on your blade than anything else. Like I said, we don't get this craftsmanship in here often. It is quite a nice thing to see and get to work with.
And if I insist on making sure no man does anything without proper payment, and I lean forward, show the tattoo.
Ah. Of course. 10 silver stags. Splendid.
Okay.
Whoa.
I hold all 275 out to Martan.
I wanna see if I guess would it be an empathy check?
So you want to see what?
Yeah, 10 silver stags. Like, I don't know. Is that reasonable, Drew? Because it doesn't sound reasonable.
Okay. Yeah, it would be awareness, empathy.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the closest thing to an insight check that this game has. That's how you use it. You're reading his expressions and mannerisms.
Okay. These two. An 8.
An 8. Let's see.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Drew, having to make
Right.
stats on the fly.
That's all right. No. I'm just checking. That exactly hits it. So, yeah. You see that he was a little bit flustered when having the slave tattoo pointed out to him, indicating he wants to pay for services. Having been a slave, he makes that connection, and then he kind of just throws out a number. So, 10 silver stags for sharpening a blade. Yeah, probably a bit much.
Drew cannot count. For sure.
Okay.
At least not in this foreign currency. I mean, is it a base
Uh.
10 system? You know?
Yeah, it's yeah. Nicholas will go over it with you later. The breakdown of the currency.
If
So
alright,
I'm
well
just
then,
holding my bag open.
like, if the pleasure is yours, we shall tip you based on your work. Tip. Gratuity. Whatever their word for that may be.
I think
A
it's
hand
And
job,
then-
just like it's- I've heard
And
them
then
call
I
it.
look at Badru's coin and I count out. There are two guys there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I count out 5, and I count out 5 again. And then take them in my hand, in 2 separate hands, and push his coins back to him.
Back towards Badru.
To Badru, yes.
So you're pushing 2 sets of 5 coins towards him? Or I'm confused as to what you're doing.
I took away 10. I'm pushing all of his coin back to him.
Oh,
He's
okay.
held it all out to me.
Okay. Now we're clear. Got it.
Tie it. Yeah. Good.
Yes,
Nudge.
of course. Whatever you wish. The pleasure is ours. We can get to work on this right away. You are staying here for several more days, I believe, so we will certainly have this ready for you when you are ready to leave.
Cool.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
All right, and you are able to exit and head back to your rooms at the castle, should you
Okay.
wish.
Thank you.
And
thank
as we
you very
leave-
much, Martan.
Badru, it will be interesting. Here, I took these coins and then I have them. I just your hands, if you would, please. All right. Now, if you are happy with the service, and the spear sharpened to your liking, you give them. And then I kind of look at the coins and put 8 in one hand. Give them that. And if you are unsatisfied, don't say so. Just give them this. And it's the other 2 silver stacks. Now, won't say there are. Oh, that seems such a dirty word. We're trying to take advantage of you or anything, but generally speaking, well, you are quite intimidating. So, perhaps until we smooth out your rough edges, have Nicholas or I do a bit of the interacting for you. You frighten people.
Fair enough. Is
But
is
but
that
one
something that maybe you could teach me?
but between, well, yes, I suppose I could. But between Nicholas and I, we oh, I'm sure we can teach you the manners, etiquette, proper way in which things are done here in Westeros, and conversely, on the other hand, if we happen to make our way across the narrow sea, well, you will probably know more of the customs and people than us, and I would appreciate any knowledge that you have.
I can tell you stories of my journey.
And and we can we I would like to hear them. One more thing in regards to money here. You have your coin, but you are no longer a slave, but you are serving my house, and things will be taken care of. Money, while not limitless, is, well, coins spent on the smaller people, they appreciate it. It's a small thing to generate favor. Does that make sense to you?
For younger people?
No. People without station. Folks who don't have land or ships or shops or big things that they own for themselves. No titles, no extra.
I see. Okay.
Yes, so, but yes, don't concern yourself with money so much. However, you now have coin of your own, so if you should see something you would like,
Money is a last resort.
it is your money.
Sure. Interesting.
Yeah. All right. Well, you make your way back to the rest of the group. Yeah. Badru, Nicholas can show you the breakdown of the different coinages. A gold dragon is worth 200 silver stags, and a silver stag is worth 60 copper.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's... you could, pretty well drown yourself in copper coins.
Yeah, for sure. Does he also explain like what the basic interest is for goods services provided?
Yeah, over the course of the next several days, he can detail just kind of what basic goods and services cost, and
Because
on
not
average.
technically is a dumb person. He just is unaware of this brand new continent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and having to deal with money is a bit unfamiliar anyway. You've seen plenty of it. You've been around it, but not possessed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he goes over what generally goods and services will cost, prices for weapons and armor that you can find throughout the Seven Kingdoms, just basic ballpark prices. And he also shows you, or just kind of with the gold coins, he shows you that the face of the king, the old king with the three-headed dragon on one side, was coined during King Ares II's reign, so it has his face on it with his house's three-headed dragon on the back. But of course, once he was overthrown by Robert Baratheon, the new mint happened, yes, and some of the other gold coins that are in the lot have King Robert's face on them, and the Baratheons claim descent from a bastard younger brother of Aegon the Conqueror. So there is possibly some dragon blood in there. That's part of how they claimed the Iron Throne. So they have a one-headed dragon on the back of their coins. So that's where that comes from.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. Well, now you do. And you can identify kind of where the coins came from or how old they are by what king is on there.
Are they weighted? Like, do you know the weight that they would have been worth?
I don't know what the weight would be. I do know that Westerosi gold coins, the gold dragons, are bigger than I think it's the. Nope, I don't remember what they're called. There's SOC coins that are gold as well, but most of those are minted smaller.
Okay.
So
Cool.
the gold dragon is the most valuable single gold coin that is
Of
made.
course,
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Cool. That's what I was getting.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. There you go. All right. Was there anything else anyone wanted to do during your stay? Radava, I know that you're spending some time practicing.
Yeah, mostly just trying to keep up with my practicing, my training.
Mm-hmm. Thali, was there anything that you wanted to do?
No, I just resting up and Thali tends to be social with like castle guard and stuff, so just like making conversation when he's on the way to breakfast or out to shoot arrows, and pretty much his whole gig.
All right. Well, we'll go ahead and do the healing. Let's see, of the wounds. Everyone is getting Nicholas to kind of tend their wounds. There are not so many of you that are wounded that he can't divide his attentions between you. So, let's see. It's still treat injury, but the difficulty is different. Let's see. They have it here? No. Let's see. I think for a wound, anyone that did any sort of traveling is the difficulty will go up. Well, it's only for 2 days. It'll go up slightly, but it won't be. Why am I seeing the same stuff? All right, let's just do it this way. Sorry.
How do you look
There we
things
go.
up?
Yeah, okay. So, who has a wound in the group? That is Martan and Radava, right? Okay.
Yep.
And then,
Yes.
let's see, I think
Quite wounded.
Sir Merrick is also wounded. But, let's... Alright, that's 3 of you, and that's exactly how Nicholas would have to spend his time. So, there we go. So Sir Merrick did some traveling, so he is going to have to make it is higher than a 9. He is going to have to beat a 10 to recover from this, or Nicholas will. All right, that is a 14. So, after a week of treatment, Sir Merrick Sand is recovered from his wound. Ooh.
Oh yeah.
All right. Who would like their roll to be next? And would you like me to roll for it, or do you want to roll for it? I'll tell you what to roll.
I'll go next.
Martan?
Yeah.
I'll let you roll Nicholas's roll if you wish.
How many dice am I rolling?
5 dice and dropping the lowest.
So 4 1B.
Mm-hmm. And for you, you're trying to beat a 9. Because you were inside the
Trying to beat a 9.
palanquin.
No, you can roll it.
All right. Okay, yeah. Dropping a 1, we're keeping the 6, the 5, and the 2 4s. So, Martan, you
Good call.
recover from your severe leg injury.
Nice.
All right, which just leaves Radova. You want to roll it or you want me
Just,
to?
I absolutely fucking don't want to roll that. I know better.
All
You want
right.
to watch man roll 5 1s?
Yeah. For you, it's back to a 10, since you were outside of the palanquin. All right. Dropping a 1. Yeah, that is enough. It's what, a 13.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That is another success. You may remove that wound. After a week of treatment, yeah, you are no longer affected. All right. Great. Well, you've recovered from the battle. You are resting inside of Lemonwood. I think that's probably a good place to stop. We can pick back up from there and
Let's get to
where
Dorne.
see where.
Anyone want to do anything on the ship? I know I don't.
Just want to go straight there. Go straight to
Yeah.
No,
Sunspear?
I actually
Oh.
do want to do something more here.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So,
Do you want to try and knock that out now? I'm open to going
I-
there if you want.
I'll talk with you about it after we wrap up.
Okay.
And
Dorn da dorn dorn.
make a
Dorn
plan.
da dorn.
All right. Well, yeah. Dorn is Sunspear in particular is the next kind of big-ish thing for me. So
Mhm.
we'll get there. Well, thank you guys for watching. We will be back again